Okay, so now in this lesson 1.2, we are going to talk about the addition of those whole numbers. So in lesson 1.1, we learned what a whole number was. We learned what a number line was. We learned what a period in a place value chart meant. We learned what is less than, greater than, or equal to. In this case, we're going to learn how to add those whole numbers. And so, for example, whenever you're looking at $3 plus $4, that equals $7. This is called an addend. Addend. And this is called a sum. Okay, and so addition can be illustrated on, you can also see it on a number line by using the arrows to represent the addends. And so let me show you what that's referring to. So if we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, what does that look like on a number line? So if we've got 3, you've got 3 all the way to the 3, okay? And then it's saying we're going to add 4 to that. So from this point, we're going to add 4. So if we add 4, you go 4 to the right, and this is where we end up. So that would mean that 3, oh, sorry, my bad. We added 4. 3 plus 4, so then when you look at it as a whole, it equals 7. That is how you see that on a number line. Okay, so we also have what we call the addition property of 0, and I'm going to tell you and explain what that is. So when you have the addition property of 0, that basically states that 0 added to a number does not change the number. 0 added to a number does not change the number. So that could be 10 plus 0, it's still not going to change the number. It could be 21 plus 0, it's still not going to change that number. That is called the addition property of 0. Now then, there's also what we call commutative property of addition. Here's what that is referring to. So we've got the same numbers on both sides. The order may be different, but guess what? It still sums up to be the same. So when you add 8 plus 4, that's going to give you 12. 8 plus 4 is going to give you 12. That is the commutative property of addition. Regardless of where you place your numbers, you're still going to get the same answer, the same sum. Now then, we also have what we call associative property of addition. Okay, you have the same numbers, except the parentheses are in different areas. So what this means in the associative property of addition, it means that grouping the addition in any order gives the same result. So the parentheses are grouping symbols and have the meaning. So actually 3 and 2 and 4 is going to give you 9, just like it would give you 9 on this side. That is the associative property of addition. Okay, so the number line is useful for adding numbers, right? But we also want to learn how to add those numbers by placing them with your ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. Remember the place value chart? So if we were to look at this, this is what we're focusing on. These are all ones, these are all in the tens, etc. And I could keep going forward. Now then, so let's give you an example. So let's say that in your textbook it says add 321 plus 6472. You would need to write those where your ones are put together, your tens are lined up together, your hundreds are lined up together, and your thousands are lined up together. And may I remind you, these are your ones, these are your tens, and so forth. Okay, if you need to use your value chart, by all means do so. So when we line them up, this is what that looks like. Okay, so now then let's line up the 3, 2, 1. The 1 goes with the 2 because those are both ones. The 2 and the 3. And I like to place a line so that I know When I'm adding, then I'm keeping everything in their place value. Now then, when I add, I'm going to add each column. So 2 and 1 is 3. 7 and 2 is 9. 4 and 3 is 7. And that equals 6. And I'm going to add my comment. Okay. When you see addition, you're going to see in the book where it says add, more than, the sum of, increased by, the total of, plus. And so just remember that that means addition. Now then, what happens whenever we have, I'll show you an example. Okay. So let's say that we are adding the following number. Okay, we've got our ones, tens, and hundreds. Okay. Now then, let's add 7 and 9, just like we did previously. Well, 7 and 9 is 16. How would I demonstrate that here? You would keep your ones with the 1, so 16, the 6 would go there, and your 1 would go over here with the tens. So then when you add that second column, it's going to give you 15. You bring the 1 over. 4 and 3 is 7 plus 1 is 8. So your answer is 856. So basically you're carrying over in order to add in this example. Okay, that's called carrying over, and it involves that in some of your addition problems. Okay. Also, as part of this lesson, I want to go ahead and show you what it means to do, to approximate, estimate, etc., which is shown in a wavy line. That means estimation, or approximately equal to. So I'll give you an example of what that refers to. So for example, when you look at 2, 2, 347, okay, let's say it's 5, 8, 9, 6. Okay, so for this example, to estimate the answer of what this is going to give you, you're going to have to round each number to the same place value. In this case, let's go ahead and round to the nearest 1,000. So when we round to the nearest 1,000, if you need your place value chart, by all means use it. But I know that by now, the thousands is this right here. So if we're going to estimate before we actually add for easy addition, we're going to look to the number on the right, and that is going to mean that if it's 4 or less, or 5 or more, we'll know what to do. In this case, it is 4 or less. So I know that that is going to be this. We look to the number on the right, that is 5 or more. So I know that the answer to that when we estimate is going to be. Now then, it's quicker for me to know that my true answer here is going to be relatively close to that here. So knowing this, you would know that maybe if you end up getting an answer of 131757912, for example, is way off from what your true answer should be. That's why to estimate the sum of two numbers, you have to first round each whole number to the same place value and then add it. And then, of course, compare the answer with a calculator. So you can use your calculator here if needed.